Crosse, Monroe, Trempealeau, Vernon, and Winona counties. For more information, go to weather.gov/lacrosse. And now a look at your forecast for the La Crosse area. West of tonight, warmer. Showers and a chance of thunderstorms. Some thunderstorms may produce damaging winds and large hail. Near steady temperature in the lower 60s. South winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Chance of precipitation 80%. For Wednesday, cloudy with a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Highs in the mid-50s. West winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Wednesday night, much colder. Mostly cloudy with a 40% chance of rain showers in the evening, then partly cloudy after midnight. Lows around 30. West winds 10 to 20 miles an hour. Gusts up to 30 miles an hour after midnight. For Thursday, windy, colder, partly sunny. A 20% chance of rain showers in the afternoon. Highs in the lower 40s. Southwest winds 20 to 30 miles an hour with gusts to around 50 miles an hour. This of you a thunderstorm warning for northern Allamucky, southwestern Vernon, and northwestern Crawford counties will expire at 12:30 a.m. The storms which prompted the warning have weakened below severe limits and no longer pose an immediate threat to life or property. Therefore, the warning will be allowed to expire. However, gusty winds are still possible with these thunderstorms. A severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect until 3 a.m. for northeastern Iowa, southeastern Minnesota, and southwestern Wisconsin. Repeating, the severe thunderstorm warning has been allowed to expire for the following county, Allamucky, Iowa, and the following counties, in Wisconsin, Crawford, and Vernon. And now a look at your forecast for the La Crosse area. West of tonight, warmer. Some thunderstorms may produce damaging winds and large hail. Near steady temperature.
Alrighty guys, what is going on? I hope you guys are having a wonderful night so far. Hope you guys are doing alright. Glad to see all of y'all here. So we're going to go ahead and kick things off here because obviously we've been dealing with a lot of severe weather here recently. And like I said, this is just the beginning of a pretty nasty set of few days that we've been dealing with here. We actually still have a moderate chance for severe weather here kicking off at the moment, in which we actually are going to take a look here at the moment. And like I said, tomorrow is going to be very bad. Regardless, we're going to be watching out for this as well. But anyways, you guys, or really today, I should say. But anyways, guys, hope y'all are doing good here. Glad to see all of you guys here. So tell you what, we're going to go ahead and switch here to the radar view in regard to what is currently kicking off here at the moment. Like I said, guys, I hope you're doing well. I hope you guys are staying safe here. So we've been monitoring this set of storms that's been driving its way through Iowa here. As well as across bits of eastern Nebraska as well. Melinda says, what time does the storm come into Alvin, Texas? So what time is the storm? So I'll tell you what, we're going to look at it up here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to throw them down in the chat here. I'm going to try to get to all of y'all's here. Alvin, Texas, I still have it saved up, just basically south of Houston. Okay. So in regard to Houston, we're going to go ahead and take a look here at the models. We're going to switch over here to my main screen here real quick to show you guys what is going on here at the moment. So, I tell you what, we're going to switch to tropical tidbits here. So, this is your NAM 3-kilometer model we're about to look at. The latest run here is your NAM 3-kilometer model. It is currently, obviously not 2 o'clock p.m., so we're going to switch to the latest run here. I believe this is the latest one we have. So, we're going to take a look at what's going on here. So, but regardless, what we're looking at right here. So right now it is almost 1:30 in the morning here on the 13th. So we're going to track down here to around 1:30. So it does look like we are seeing a line of storms that is driving its way through a bit of central Louisiana at the moment. Now for your area there, it kind of looks like you may have already seen your big storms there. Now we are expecting another line to drive its way through kind of for the evening portions for today. Later on, way on the other side of today. So we got to continue watching out for that. This is expected to drive a lot of widespread thunderstorms, which it actually currently is here at the moment. Things are going to continue to kick off here over the next several hours. And like I said, things are going to get pretty nasty here. Things are going to get pretty nasty in regard to things, and we are going to see a lot of impacts. I mean, we've already seen a lot of things kick off here. We're going to switch here back to the outlooks here real quick. I'm going to tell you what. I want to go ahead and show you exactly how many storm reports we've already had so far. We've had 8 tornado reports here so far. We've had 171 hail reports. 171 hail reports. Look at that. 50 wind reports as well. So we've seen a lot of craziness that's been kicking off here. So we have we're in for quite a ride, y'all. Like I said, we are going to see this basically happen tomorrow as well. Now tomorrow is going to be worse. I can tell you that now. Tomorrow is going to be worse, and I'm going to go ahead and explain to you why here. I'm going to go ahead and pull up this pen here for a second. That way I can actually draw on the screen and show you guys what's happening here. So here we go. We got the pen up here for a second. We're going to pull up everything here. So, if you notice, there's actually 5 shades here. There's 5 shades of different colors. You have a light green, you have a dark green, a yellow, an orange, and a red. Now, if you guys are anywhere across these regions here, you should look exactly where you're at. This does cover a lot of the country. I mean, this covers at least, I'd say at least 2/6 or 1/3, or actually no. Yeah, this actually does probably cover about 1/3 of the country if you count all these shades here. So, like I said, if you do consider this, the light green basically just shows that, you know, some thunderstorms might pop off, some thunderstorms might be possible, but they're not expected to be severe by any means. That just basically shows you that some thunderstorms might actually happen. Now, in regard to things, we have a severe threat here for today. Now, severe threat level 1 out of 5 is across the dark green, 2 out of 5 is across the yellow, 3 out of 5 is across the orange, and 4 out of 5 is across the red. So like I said, from a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest potential, lowest probability, 5 being the absolute highest potential and highest probability, we have a 4 in effect here for later on today. So that's pretty bad. And the fact is that this does cover a lot of ground. I mean, this covers a lot of areas here. The southern portion of Illinois, southwestern bits of Indiana here, western Kentucky, western Tennessee, northwestern bits of Mississippi, northeastern Louisiana, eastern Arkansas, and southeastern portions here of Missouri. Now, these are all inside of the moderate chance. This is your severe threat level 4 out of 5. Now, if you guys are across the dark red areas here, you need to be on extra high lookout here, because this is where we are expecting some nasty, nasty weather to come through. In regard to things, I mean, really anywhere here across, you know, from the dark green and inward, you have the chance of seeing severe weather across the area. And like I said, all types of severe weather are going to be expected here. In regard to hail here, we're actually seeing a pretty large chance. We have a 15% significant chance here of seeing hail instances maybe up to 2 inches in diameter and greater, basically across this region here. Basically just shows you have a 15% chance that you could see hail 2 inches in diameter. This does cover a lot of ground too, and this repeats every single 25 miles. So if you're inside of these areas here and 25 miles around you, there's a 15% chance that you could see essentially hail the size of 2 inches in diameter or greater with some instances here. Now, there's a 15% chance here just across a normal shady yellow with no black netting inside of it here. That's your non-significant chance here. So this is basically the area we have a 15% chance we could see hail 1 inch in diameter and greater. We actually have that 5% chance. Lower probability, but the potential impact is still there. Basically 1 inch in diameter hail kind of being expected here. So that is what we are looking at, y'all. This is what we are currently seeing. Now, in regard to damaging winds, here is our threat for that. We actually do have a few shades that's actually here at the moment. We have a 5% chance, basically a 5% chance you could see damaging winds 60 miles per hour or more, covering a lot of these areas here. And then we move into the yellow. This is a higher percent chance here of seeing pretty much the same thing. We could potentially see, like I said, some damaging wind events here in excess of 60 miles per hour being possible across the regions here. This does include bits of the Ohio Valley as far down south as the western southeast here. This is what we are looking at the moment. Then we have a 30% chance. Now, you can kind of see it here, but there's actually a netted 30% chance, and there's also a non-netted area here. Basically across, this red area here that I'm kind of drawing these dots in. Inside this area here, this is where we are seeing a 30% chance that we could see basically hail instances, damaging wind instances that could get up to 60 miles per hour. So that's a 30% chance that you could see some winds 60 miles per hour or more. out of some of these storms. Now, things get worse, y'all. Things actually get a little bit more nasty than this. Now, if you guys are across any of these areas here that I am actually currently circling here, if you guys are across any of these regions here, you got to be on the lookout for this, because basically what this is showing is that you have a significant chance of seeing wind damage here. 30% chance of significant wind damage. Basically, you have a 30% chance you could see damaging winds 70 miles per hour or more. And then we have an even higher probability here at a maximum of a 45% chance. This is the area here. We have a 45% chance that we could see damaging winds 70 miles per hour or more. This does cover a lot of ground. This does include bits of western Kentucky, southwestern Indiana, southern Illinois, southeastern bits of Missouri here, and the northeastern side of Arkansas, and the northwestern side here of Mississippi, also western Tennessee here. So that is what we are looking at here. We've got to watch this. This is a pretty big threat in regard to damaging winds. So we could see some of those isolated wind gusts get over hurricane force being possible. Melinda says, what does the brown color mean? So the brown color here shows a 5% chance here. This is basically the lowest percent chance you could see damaging winds here. This is a low 5% chance, basically showing that you have a 5% chance every single 25 miles of seeing damaging winds 60 miles per hour or more. So that's essentially what that basically shows. And then we have a tornado threat. Now, later on today's tornado threat is going to be quite significant, literally. So look at this. This is our overall tornado threat here for today. We have a lot of ground to cover here, y'all. We have a lot of areas here. So if you guys are across any of these shades of colors here, from the southern portions of basically the southern plains here, all the way as far north as the northern Ohio Valley, this tornado threat goes as far north as Michigan, as well as basically eastern portion of Wisconsin. This does cover a lot of ground as far down south as the Gulf Coast. So we do have another isolated 2% risk here across bits of the Northeast, including bits of New York State as well as Pennsylvania. Now, this is the overall area here. This is where we are looking at the possibility of tornadoes here for tomorrow. So it is what it looks like. There's a 2% chance you could have a tornado inside of the areas here in the green. A 5% chance, a little bit higher of a probability that you could have a tornado here basically inside of this brown area here. This is a 5% chance you could see a tornado. This does cover a lot of ground, y'all, and this repeats every single 25 miles. So you have you literally bring a perimeter around you, 25 miles around you. There is a 5% chance that you could see a tornado within that region here across the brown. Now, unfortunately, there's actually a greater threat than just that. There's actually a updated severity as well as an updated probability. We're going to go ahead and switch here back to that tornado to kind of show you what we're talking about here. So this is where you need to be on extra lookout. If you guys are across any of these regions, if you know anyone across these regions, it would be the best right now if you do them a favor and give them a heads up here, because these are areas here worth significance. That's actually what they mean. So these netted areas here, these black dashed little netted areas here basically shows inside this yellow you have a 10% chance that you could see a tornado within 25 miles of you being EF2 to EF5. We are seeing the possibility of significant tornadoes, extremely damaging tornadoes, is going to be a very, very big concern here. So we got to watch out for that, y'all. It's going to be a very big concern. Now, here's a bit of a news flash for y'all. This is actually going to be a higher threat. There's actually another threat, a 15% chance that we could see a tornado EF2 to EF5 across the red zone. A 15% chance. Now, this does include southeastern Arkansas. This does include basically northwestern Mississippi as well as the northeastern side here of Louisiana. This is where we are seeing our greatest chance here of tornadoes here for later on today. But like I said, regardless, these areas here that we are looking inside of this significant netted zone, the hatch zone here, this is where we can expect the possibility of some of these tornadoes being very strong. And like I said, maybe EF2 to EF5 being possible. These are the areas here we have got to monitor really, really close. Now, regardless, like I said, your overall tornado threat does actually stretch out here pretty far. This does include a lot of the country. This actually does include a lot of the most populated areas here in the country. across bits of the Midwest here, as well as the Ohio Valley, Tennessee Valley, Southeast here. We even have another risk here of tornadoes across the Northeast, like I was saying. This does include central New York State, central portion of Pennsylvania, and even a small portion of north central portion here of Maryland. This is what we are looking at. This is our chance for tornadoes here for tomorrow, or later on today, I should say, since it's already that time. So we got to be on the lookout, you guys. Things are going to be very, very nasty, and like I said, things are going to get a little bit more worse here. Literally, they're going to get more worse here later on today than we actually did see earlier, because this covers a lot more of ground here. This covers a lot more area, in which this is actually pretty significant here. Troy says, severe weather in Middletown, Iowa tonight. I am certified Skywarn spotter for southeast Iowa, northern Missouri, and western Illinois. Anyone available to go storm chasing tomorrow? I wish I could go, but I won't be able to. I'm going to be here in Virginia, and like I said, I'm taking a trip here to Kentucky on Thursday, so I'm not going to be able to be here. Now, you're wondering about a high risk tomorrow, says Troy. There is no active high risk here. This is our current convective outlook. We do have a moderate threat here. We still have a small sliver of a 15% chance here, but it does look like those storms are just now starting to kind of move out of the area here. We have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings that are actually in effect here. We have 3 active severe thunderstorm warnings that are going on right now, and all of these are across Louisiana. We're going to go ahead and pull these up here once the radar loads here. So this is what we are looking at here. We have a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect here for bits of Winnsboro, bits of Wisner, as well as bits of, a lot of these areas here. This does include Delhi here, bits of Warden, bits of Epps here, Darnell, Pioneer, Forest, Oak Grove, and Terry. You are inside of this severe thunderstorm warning. And this is basically showing we have the possibility that we actually could see 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and nickel-sized hail being a concern out of this storm here. Now, just ahead of that, they did issue another severe thunderstorm warning here for bits of Richmond, Mound, Delta, bits of Tyndall, as well as Transylvania here, as well as Lake Providence here in Shelburne. This is across another area here. This is that that's the warning that they issue ahead of this, basically an extension of a warning here. And this is showing the possibility that we actually could see 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail out of this storm. So this is a severe thunderstorm. We need to be watching this here. This thing could cause some localized wind damage. And honestly, maybe some small hail being a concern as well. Then we're going to switch to a radar here just to the south in regard to things. We're going to take a look at the one just to the south here, KPOE to be exact here. We have another severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect here for St. Augustine. Bits of Center, bits of Converse here, Pleasant Hill, bits of Manny here, as well as bits of Noble. You are inside of this severe thunderstorm warning here as well. And this will be in effect here, you guys. Let's go and see here. This will be in effect, I believe, until 1 o'clock a.m. Central Time. So we have about 22 minutes to go before this is canceled, so we have a little bit to go on this, but they are showing the possibility of 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and nickel-sized hail being a concern. Now, in regard to things, we actually do have some flash flood warnings here. These are all our active warnings here at the moment. These are all severe thunderstorm warnings here in the yellow, and the green is basically showing all of our flash flood warnings. Now, there is one of them here near Nacogdoches. This actually does show a considerable flooding threat here across bits of the region. So this is here, the one we are looking at the moment. This is a considerable threat here. Let's go and take a look here. I think this was we are seeing a possibility of 1 to 2 inches in 1 hour out of some of these here. Now, this is the one that's worth consideration here. This is the one we are seeing a little bit more crazy things here. We're seeing 1 to 3 inches of rain has already fallen. An additional of 2 to 4 can still be expected here. So we are seeing a lot of flooding here. Damage threat is considerable here. Radars and gauges indicated basically that there is some flooding that is ongoing. So if you guys are inside of a flash flood warning, if you're on the lower elevations here, kind of towards the depression, you need to be on the lookout here and get to higher elevation if possible. Because, like I said, there is going to be some flood damage out of this as well, in which we have got to monitor this here very, very closely. This is going to be a concern. We are seeing some nasty weather that is driving its way across Louisiana right now. Now, right now where this set of storms is currently at, like I said, this is across basically the central portion of Louisiana. These set of storms, like I said, this is not the only thing that's going off at the moment, but we have this set of storms here. This has a 5% chance here of producing a tornado inside of this storm complex here. So we have got to watch this. Like I said, 5% chance here for tornadoes, 15% chance here of seeing damaging winds 60 miles per hour or more, and hail, a 15% chance here as well, in which we actually do have some both flooding and hail reports here in Nacogdoches at the moment. We do have a flooding reported on Pearl Street in Nacogdoches here. This is what we are looking at here at the moment. So that is where we are looking. Let's go and see how fast is it coming to Alvin, Texas. So like I said before, what we were looking at back on the models here is that it looks like the majority of it has just now passed through your region, in which you should be fine here. Now, like I said, there is going to be that, that area that we are going to see that cold front drive its way through the eastern side of Texas here eventually. Now, what's going to happen is that, the models here, we'll actually go and switch on over here to this. It really kind of thins out here over the last few model scans, basically showing that, honestly, it could not be as bad as we just saw drive its way across the region there. I mean, look at this. We had this nasty system that the models had picked up and drive its way through bits of, Louisiana here. I mean, look at our radar view. Does this kind of show anything of significance here that we are seeing here? Kind of similar to what the models were saying, huh? So this is kind of the point we are looking at here right now. This is what we are seeing. Let me go ahead and remove that out of the way. I don't really want that to be in the way for you guys. But yeah, that is what we are looking at here. We are seeing the set of the set of storms here tracking its way here basically to the east at the moment, and these storms are moving quite quickly. Like I said, this is moving here to the east, and a lot of these storms here are moving to the east here. At 25 miles per hour. So they're pretty slow-moving storms, actually. Or this set of storms in particular is actually pretty slow, moving about 25 miles per hour. And like I said, they are checking their way here. They are moving their way here to the east. And like I said, there is another severe thunderstorm warning that popped up here not too long ago. Basically, an extension of that one warning that we do have in place here for bits of Delhi, bits of Dunn here, Warden, Epps, or Dardanelle here, Pioneer Forest, and Oak Grove. This set of storms here has another warning ahead of it here for bits of Tyndall, bits of Delta, bits of Mound here, as well as bits of Transylvania here, and Lake Providence, Shelburne also as well. So this is what we are looking at here at the moment. This is a severe thunderstorm warning. This is across the northeastern side of bits of Louisiana. Now this will continue to track its way here to the east. Eventually this will end up into bits of Mississippi here. Now the models do kind of have it thinning out here, but Mississippi, you're not in the clear regardless of that anyway. So we're going to go and move here back to the screen. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys exactly what we're talking about here. So time is in the upper right or upper corner right above my head, above the radar, if you guys do want to check, if you guys do want to look along here. So if you look at the radar above my head, this is around the same state we are at the moment. This is kind of showing around 3 o'clock. Now what's happening here is actually this model is a little bit, it looks like it's actually a little bit ahead of what's actually currently happening here. Let's go and see here. Holly says wind is horrible here in West Tennessee. Well, obviously stay safe here, Holly. If you have any questions, we're going to be here for you. Like I said, I'm going to be here for all you guys. If you have any questions, I'm going to try to get to as many as I possibly can, y'all, because I want you guys to stay safe here. So, like I said, as we move in here into the western side of Mississippi, like I said, this in particular set of storms that we're seeing above my head is expected to kind of just fade out here as we do track down in time. But like I said, don't let that fool you, because we have the other cold front that's going to be driving its way through. We're going to get a lot of scattered thunderstorms starting to kind of fire off here around the evening hours, kind of starting around 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, 6 o'clock p.m. Central. So around 6 Central Time, we're going to start to see a lot of those storms starting to fire off across bits of central and northern Mississippi. Now, the line is going to start driving its way through the western side kind of around 10 o'clock p.m. later on this evening here, and be fully cutting its way through and completely out of the state by 7 o'clock in the morning. So, Mississippi, you got to be on the lookout here. We are seeing a lot of heavy thunderstorms that is expected across the region. I mean, regardless, this is covering a lot of ground here. We just saw that first line of storms fire off here. Things are going to pick up once again, and things are going to get pretty daggone nasty here. So we got to continue watching this, you guys. This is something worth significance. This is a very big deal, and this is honestly going to cause some serious concerns. So we have got to continue watching this, you guys. This is a very serious situation. So, switching on back here to GR2. Now, luckily, right now, we do not have any active tornado warnings. That's obviously some good news, but like I said, I don't expect that to last for long, considering, these storms are very likely to produce, some tornadic cells here. Like I said, this is a pretty big concern here. So, that's what we're looking at, you guys. Like I said, we have 3 active severe thunderstorm warnings, as well as a lot of flash flood warnings here in effect as well. Like I said, there's a significant flash flood warning here in effect for Nacogdoches here, basically showing that 1 to 3 inches have already fallen, according to rain gauges and radar, And also, we are expecting an additional amount of 2 to 4 inches to follow. A lot of flooding is expected to go on here. We actually do have a flooding report here on Pearl Street in Nacogdoches here. Also, 2 1-inch hail reports. So you might as well add some ice to that bunch of water. So we're having a nice cool drink over here in Nacogdoches here, seeing a lot of flooding as well as some ice being mixed in with this. So this is kind of what we are seeing here at the moment. Now, the rain has exited areas here of Nacogdoches, but like I said, the flow is going to continue over the next little bit. So this is what we are looking at. There is obviously still the threat for some rain across these regions here. Because, I mean, look at this. We're literally starting to see another storm fire off here. Another single cell thunderstorm literally dragging its way directly towards Nacogdoches here. If we look at it, this will eventually impact it if it does continue to progress its way down the line. So that is what we are looking at here at the moment. So, like I said, guys, we are expecting a lot of considerable flooding to happen here in Nacogdoches. We already are seeing those reports coming in here. Like I said, 1 to 3 inches have already fallen, and 2 to 4 is expected yet again. So this will be in effect, you guys, for a while. This will be in effect until 2:15 a.m. Central Time. So this will be 3:15 a.m. Eastern Time. So the time below me, this is in Eastern Time. We still have a little bit over an hour to go here on that warning. So, like I said, y'all, we actually did just get that severe thunderstorm warning that just got canceled here for the back areas here. So for the areas here of Wisner, bits of Gilbert, Chase, Winsboro here, Baskin, Delhi, Warden, Epps here, Darnell, Pioneer, Forest, Oak Grove, and Terry across the northeastern side of Louisiana. You are no longer inside the warning. You're now safe to come out of your shelters, but I'd still recommend that you should still remain indoors until this storm is completely out of the area here. Like I said, this is going to be an additional 30 minutes or so before, those areas here are completely out of the storm here. But, obviously you're probably still seeing a little bit of moderate to light rain going on here at the moment, but like I said, the worst is said and done, but we still have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect here for Tyndall, bits of these regions here in Transylvania, Lake Providence here in Shelburne, as well as Milliken. So this is kind of what we are looking at here. Like I said, this is across the northeastern side of Louisiana. Let's go see. Southern Patriot says, "What is the timing on Monroe, Louisiana here for tomorrow?" So that is actually a really good question here. I've heard of Monroe before. I need to double check on exactly where it's at, but I'll get you covered because I want to keep you guys safe. Like I said, I want to keep you guys safe here. Like I said, I've heard of it many times here. Okay, yeah, that's right. It's across the northeastern side. So, what we're dealing with here right now, Monroe just now got that line of storms. You should be in the light to moderate rain at the moment. Now, in regard to timing for tomorrow's storms, we're going to go ahead and switch here back to my screen view in regard to things. We're going to take a look at the times. So the time's right above my head, right above the radar view here. So this is what we are looking at. So this is your NAM 3-kilometer model. So as we do track down your time, this was that system that just now hit. Notice the time. It's actually a little bit ahead of when this actually did. The storms are actually ahead of what these models are showing here, essentially. Now, as we do track down here in time, it is kind of looking like that second wave of storms might drive its way across the region here, kind of for the evening hours here. Basically, kind of across the evening hours here for, tomorrow or later on this afternoon or later on this evening here, kind of what I'm saying here. So I'd say between 8 and 10 is kind of when you can expect your storms to fire off once again across Monroe. So stay safe here. Like I said, there is a possibility for some more severe storms here, but we have got to be on top of this, you guys. We have got to continue watching this. We got to be on top of this because, like I said, things are getting pretty gnarly out there. So, in regard to our active warnings, we're going to go ahead and switch here back to the warnings here. We have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. The one we are taking a look here across Louisiana. Thankfully, things have died down here a little bit, but like I said, they are going to kick right back off again, and things are going to get absolutely crazy. So, we have a lot of flash flood warnings that is also in effect as well. We have a FFWC. This is a considerable flash flood warning here that's in effect here for Nacogdoches that we were looking at the moment. If we zoom back in here, you can kind of see my things in a way. I understand that. But if you look right here, 1 to 3 inches has already fallen, and additional amounts of 2 to 4 inches is possible here. Stefan says, "Hello, sir. Got just in time for tomorrow's look. Thanks for all you do." You're very, very welcome, Stefan. I'm glad to be here for you guys. Like I said, I want you guys to be safe. I'm here for all of y'all. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to throw them down in the chat here, y'all. I'm going to be here for you guys. I want to be here for you guys. And I want to make sure that you guys stay safe here. Like I said, we were live earlier here, but and we decided to cut it off a little bit early. I'm going to be live here for a little bit tonight. So if you have any questions, I'm going to be here for you guys. So there's no reason that you should feel alone during these events. I understand they can be pretty scary and pretty nerve-wracking, but I tell you what, we're going to get through this together, okay? New severe thunderstorm warning has just now been issued, as we just now saw pop up on the screen. This is an extension of that other warning we are seeing here. This does now include Redwood, bits of Valley Park onward here, Cary, as well as bits of Rolling Fork here, and bits of Nidayuma. So this is kind of what we are looking at the moment. This is another severe thunderstorm warning that just now popped off here. This will be in effect until 2 o'clock a.m. Central Time, 3 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time. So this has about an hour and 10 minutes to go before this is canceled. Now, what we are seeing here is the possibility of 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-size hail being a concern out of the system here. So we have got to watch this, you guys. This is a pretty big threat. So then, like I said, we have a lot of other we have another severe thunderstorm warning that's actually in effect here. This is for bits of Pleasant Hill, bits of Converse. Like I said, this does include bits of Mini San Augustine as well, center here. So we got to watch this cell as well. It actually kind of looks like right around in here. You know, the areas here, once you start to kind of pull those purples and pinks here, this is showing some very heavy rain just here, just north of Shelbyville. That is currently ongoing here. Like I said, there could be some small hail mixing in with this as well, just considering how strong the precipitation is showing here. Like I said, the purples and pinks, that kind of shows you that there is some heavy precipitation here in regard to things, and we got to watch this. What's up, Layla? Welcome to the live stream. Hope you're doing good. They say, do I think this storm could turn from a moderate to a high risk? I'd say there's definitely enough room that this could turn into a high risk. Today definitely performed in regard to hail. Hail was definitely significant here. Like I said, tomorrow or later on today, there is going to be a larger tornado threat. Things are going to get much worse here in the tornado world here, I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly what we're looking at here as well. So we're going to go ahead and switch here back to screen view. This is our tornado threat for today. Now, in regard to significant tornadoes being EF2 and higher, look at this. So this is our greatest threat for tornadoes here for today, or for the remainder of this morning, I should say. Now, as we move into the afternoon hours, I'm going to keep this pin here, but I'm going to switch it to tomorrow's outlook, and look what happens here. We're going to switch down here. We're going to turn back to tornadoes. Look at that. A much greater area here. This covers a lot of ground. I mean, look at this. This covers more than double. I'd say at least 3 times the coverage zone here of the same expectancy of these storms. So regardless, this is going to be very, very nasty. And these are the areas here we could see tornadoes being EF2 and higher. EF2 to EF5 definitely being possible. So we got to be on our ball game, you guys. We have got to be on the outlook here for the next while, because this is going to get pretty crazy. Let's go and see. Stephen says, roughly what time do I think this will make its way to Nashville, Tennessee? Also, any chances of discrete cells forming ahead of the front? That is a very good question. I'm glad that you're asking that. So we're going to switch here back to my tropical activist view. I'll tell you what, we're going to pull up HRRR this time, and we're going to look here across areas here that covers Tennessee quite well. So for the southern portion here. So the time is always above my head. It's above the radar view here, right above my head. So this is what we are looking at. So around the storms, the storms are going to kind of reach. Actually, this model doesn't go out that far. So I'll tell you, we're going to pull it back up the NAM 3-kilometer model here. So it kind of shows, those storms kind of driving its way here. Now, in regard to some cells firing off ahead of it, there's actually a pretty decent possibility that they could. As you can kind of see here between 11 o'clock p.m. here, kind of around the night here, kind of around the areas here, I'd say between 9 and 11 here, being possibility. Now, that front's going to pass a little bit behind it here. Now, that front is looking like it's going to pass between midnight and maybe around between midnight and 3 is kind of what we are expecting to see here in regard to timing. Now, could there, like I said, could there be some storms that fire off ahead? Absolutely. Definitely a possibility in regard to things, and we have got to watch out for that as well. Those cells that fire off ahead of it are the ones that can cause a lot of damage. So we have got to watch that as well. All of them can, but like I said, discrete cells are very nasty, and they are very, very nasty in nature. So that's what we're talking about, Stefan. Hopefully that helped out here for you guys. Layla says, I'm in Fort Worth, so I don't have to worry about it tomorrow. Thank you for what you do. You're very, very welcome, Layla. Like I said, I'm here for all of you guys. I want you guys to be safe. I want you guys to, stay covered here, which is why I'm here for you guys tonight. Like I said, I have a trip that I'm leaving to Kentucky tomorrow. But literally, I still haven't even packed yet. I want to be here with you guys during this event because I want you guys to be safe here. So that is the reason why I'm here. So guys, if you're new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button Be greatly appreciated, y'all. It's going to help us out. Make sure that you guys stay up to date on the latest weather information. Like I said, guys, we got you all covered here. We're going to be here for you guys, and I want you guys to stay safe. Now, like I said, right now we have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. Obviously, or actually 3. Another one just popped up here in Mississippi. We're going to go ahead and move over here to Mississippi. Oh, that's the one we just looked at here across the northeastern side here of Louisiana into the western side of Mississippi here. Here we go. So we do have some severe thunderstorm warnings that is in effect here. Like I said, a new one just now popped up not too long ago for Redwood Valley Park, onward Cary here, Rolling Fork, as well as bits of Nidda-Yuma. This is what we are seeing here at the moment. Like I said, there is a possibility of 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail, as you can actually see right there. Actually, I should probably change this back over here. There we go. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail being a concern here. Like I said, this does include Redwood, Valley Park here, onward, Cary, Rolling Fork, are bits of I'm very, very bad at pronouncing some of these names, so, sorry about that, but Nidda-Yuma is also inside of this. So we have got to watch out for that. Like I said, this is basically just an extension of the severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect here from Tyndall, bits of Transylvania here, as well as Lake Providence, and bits of Shelburne. This is an extension, basically issuing it ahead of time as well. So that is what we are seeing here. Like I said, we have another severe thunderstorm warning here, kind of towards the KPOE radar, here in basically west central portion here of Louisiana. Like I said, we are starting to see these storms drive their way through here, and they are actually showing some severity here. There we go. So here's the cell here. Like I said, this is a severe thunderstorm warning that is also in effect here for San Augustine. San Augustine is actually inside of this. This does include bits of Center, Converse, Pleasant Hill, bits of Manny as well. So this will be in effect here, guys. This will be in effect here, like I said, until 1 o'clock a.m. Central Time. So this will be 2 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time. So we have 4 minutes to go on the severe thunderstorm warning. It does not have much to go. So 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and nickel-sized hail seems to be the concern out of this cell. So that is kind of what we are looking at, you guys. So if you have any questions, feel free to throw them down in the chat here. Like I said, I want you guys to be prepared. If you have any questions, throw them down here, guys. If you're new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. You guys are awesome, and I really do. I greatly appreciate all of your support. So thank you guys absolutely so much. So, like I said, we are currently dealing with some things that are kicking off here at the moment. Like I said, there is also, there's actually also a lot of flood watches, or actually a lot of flash flood watches, or sorry, flash flood warnings that are ongoing here at the moment in regard to things here. So that is what we are seeing here. Let's go and see here. Layla says, good night. Y'all stay safe, though. Well, obviously, thank you, Layla, for joining us. And stay safe. I hope you have a wonderful night. Glad to see you here. Thanks for joining. So like I said, guys, there is a flash flood warning that is in effect here for Nacogdoches. Like I said, there is some significant ongoing flooding that actually is ongoing here at the moment, which we got to watch out for. So this is what we are looking at. Like I said, guys, things are looking pretty crazy. Like I said, 1 to 3 inches of rain has already fallen across these areas here, and an additional 2 to 4 is actually expected. It's going to see Suzanne Taylor. Thank you so much for subscribing. Greatly appreciate it. I do really appreciate your support. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for being here. Like I said, guys, I'm going to be here for y'all for a while here for you guys. I want to keep you guys safe, and I want to make sure that you guys are up to date on all the latest warnings here, because like I said, things are getting pretty nasty for tonight, and like I said, they're going to get crazy as we move in through today, okay? So things are going to be pretty nasty, and if you have any questions, throw them down in the chat here, guys. We're going to be here for y'all. Let's go ahead and see here. Central Arkansas says, thanks again. Since this event stretches from Minnesota to Louisiana, where do I think the major hotspot will be later on today? I'm surprised so much tornado action in Iowa and Minnesota. Well, obviously, thank you so much for joining. Hope you're doing good. Glad to see you back here, Central Arkansas. So in regard to things here, let's go and take a look here back at our outlook here. This is our overall thunderstorm forecast here in regard to things. So this is our overall outlook. Now, in regard to the outlook standards, in regard to where is expected to see the worst storms is across the red. Now, basically, these are the areas here that has the greatest risk of severe weather here today, greatest probability, greatest potential impact. Now, all these areas here from the dark green and to the red, these have the potential of having severe damaging storms. And this is the severe level. Like I said, there's a scale from 1 to 5. This is 1 out of 5 across the dark green and a 4 out of 5 across the red. That is a very serious situation. So we're literally almost maxing out the criteria here in regard to severity, in regard to these outlooks in terms of what they can get up to. which we're pushing a moderate threat. This is a very large threat. This is a extreme, this is actually really extremely concerning here. Now, in regard to tornadoes, the greatest threat is going to be across a 15% chance. Now, the areas here, you kind of see this black netting that goes around, these areas here. This is basically showing significance. Basically, what this means is that you could see some tornadoes being EF2 to EF5. Across the yellow specifically, that's a 10% chance. Within 25 miles of you, you could see a tornado EF5 or EF2 to EF5 being possible. That's a pretty big deal. I mean, you might think that 10% chance is a 1 in 10 shot, which it is. It's a pretty low probability, but you got to think. This covers a lot of ground here, and it's a very potential high. It's a very high potential impact here, in which we have got to watch out for very, very closely. So, like I said, guys, this is a serious situation. I cannot stress this enough. Things are going to get crazy today. Things are going to be worse than we even saw for today. We are expecting much more widespread severe weather here for later on today. And the severity in regard to tornadoes is pretty much the same, but the thing is it covers a much larger area here, in which that is very, very concerning. And the fact that, honestly, that's basically showing that we have a much greater tornado threat in regard to things. Now, in regard to damaging winds here, we also do have a pretty decent damaging wind threat here as well. We're talking a 45 significant chance here of seeing, these areas here across the kind of this pinkish color. 45% chance we could see damaging winds 70 miles per hour or more over hurricane force wind gusts being possible across the regions here. Basically a 30% chance here across the netted red here. We just have a normal red shaded color here, just a very kind of small sliver on the western side. This is basically showing a 30% chance we could see some damaging winds 60 miles per hour or more here. 15% chance, lower probability, but the same potential impact there for the 5 as well. Just lower probability, like I said. So this is our damaging wind threat here for tomorrow. Now, in regard to hail, it's not as a greatest threat as we did see it today. It's not going to be as a bad threat as it was today, but like I said, tornadoes kind of overtakes that. And later on today is going to be the greater tornado threat here. So we have a 5% chance that we could see some, basically some hail being 1 inch in diameter and greater, the size of a quarter, and maybe a little bit larger here. Same thing for the 15% chance here across the yellow. Basically showing that you have a 15% chance you could see some of that, the hail potentially getting up to quarter size. Now there's that webbing again. You can kind of see that going on here. This is that significant zone. We're going to go ahead and refresh that. Decide it wants to refresh at the last second, or at the worst second possible. But right here, this is a 15% significant chance that we actually could see some of these hail events being in excess of 2 inches in diameter and greater. That might not seem like much, but you got to think, ice is very heavy, and once you start getting those hailstones starting to get like that big, you got to think, if you're mixing this with your damaging wind potential, you got some hail that's moving at fast velocities, and if you mix those two together, that's not good. That is some serious bad things that are going on. So, regardless, that is something you don't want to deal with here. So, all types of severe weather is expected. I mean, even flooding is a concern here as well. So that is what we are looking at. So guys, if you have any further questions, feel free to throw them down in the chat here. I'm going to be here for you guys 100% of the way. I got you guys covered here in regard to things. Now, like I said, we're going to be here for you guys 100% of the way. I was going to see here. Scott says, right about now, I'm glad I live on the eastern end of the Tennessee rather than the western end of the state. Scott, I don't blame you there, because like I said, the western end of Tennessee is going to get hit hard. The western side here has that moderate threat. This does include Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis, Tennessee is inside this moderate chance. This is at severe threat level 4 out of 5. This is your very significant chance here. So 1 out of 5 across the dark green, 2 out of 5 across the yellow, 3 out of 5 across the orange here, and 4 out of 5 across basically the red. So this is pretty big. Pretty big deal. Like I said, basically this is a severe threat level 0 out of 5. Just showing that some thunderstorms might fire off. But it's not expected to be severe here across the light green. So that's what we're talking about. The severe side starts right here across the dark green, and it gets worse as we do track here into the red. Okay. I was going to see Matt says, good morning. What's up, Matt? Hope you're doing good, man. Glad to see you here relatively early. Like I said, it's currently 2 in the morning here on the Eastern time zone. And we're tracking it here for you guys. Like I said, I'm going to be here for y'all, but obviously glad to see all of you guys here. Glad to see you back here. Central Arkansas, Lalo, Scott as well, and, obviously Matt. Glad to see all of you guys back here. And I hope you guys are staying safe here. And if you have any questions, this goes to any one of you guys who are in the live stream here. If you have any questions at all, throw them down in the chat here. We're going to be here for you guys and make sure that you have all the information that you need. So like I said, we did just got that severe thunderstorm warning, or that severe thunderstorm warning that was in effect here across bits of the region here has just now got canceled here. For San Augustine is no longer in effect here for bits of Manny, bits of Center here, as well as bits of Pleasant Hill. This is no longer in effect here. It has now gotten canceled. However, a strong storm is just north of Millam still. We can obviously, radar is actually indicating basically hail, estimating hail could be up to around 1 inch, about 4,000 feet up in the air. Now, obviously, as you do get closer to the ground here, obviously the warmer it does get, so there is a possibility that some of this could melt by the time it hits the surface, but regardless, heavy rain is expected to happen here. Let's go see. Dia Harris says, can I look at Lexington, Tennessee? Yeah, I got you covered. We're going to be here for you guys. Yeah, that's what we are looking at. Let's go ahead and pull up. I have to look it up here real quick, just kind of tell you where I'm talking about here. But I've seen all these places before. I've heard of them, but I could never tell you where all these places are on a map here. So let's go ahead and pull this up here. Let's go and pull up Lexington. You said Lexington, Tennessee. Okay, I got you covered, man. Just east of Jackson. So we got you. So in regard to things, you want me to look at Tennessee here. So I tell you what, we're going to take a look here at the radar view, and then we'll look at the overall severe threat for you as well. So Lexington, we're going to change to KOHX. This is your local radar view here, Di, in regard to things here. So this is just east of Nashville. Lexington is around here somewhere. It's around here somewhere. We'll go ahead and double check and make sure that we are looking here. It's a little. Oh, wait, why am I looking up here in? Why am I looking in Nashville? Or where am I? Yeah, why am I looking in Nashville? It's just east of Jackson. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know why I was looking all the way over there. Here's Lexington. Here is Lexington. Okay. So, Lexington, we are seeing some, looks like some moderate to, light to moderate, rainfall that is going on across the region here. Nothing too crazy. It does look like storms are moving to the northeast here. It does look like you might get a little bit of a gap in precipitation here in the future. Looks like it kind of thins out here across areas here of Lexington. Now, in regard to overall severity, like I said, later on today, you have got to be in the lookout here. You have got to watch this close. This is going to be a very big concern here. Now, if we change back here to my screen, like I said, you're right around in here. You're kind of right here in this, this light, or you're kind of right here in this orange, almost here, towards the red. You're kind of right there on that second dot I just put. It's kind of where you are located. Now, you are in a severe threat. You are seriously, you are seriously looking pretty nasty here. Regardless, you have a pretty decent chance of seeing tornadoes. You have a 10% significant chance, which means some of the tornadoes around you, within 25 miles, you have a 10% chance you could see a tornado around your area here. In 25 miles, there's a 10% chance, and they could be potentially EF2 to EF5. Big potential here. Damaging wind, you're kind of right there at that 30, near the 30 and 45 zone here. So you could see a 30% chance here of seeing damaging winds, 70 miles per hour or more. Pretty big potential, like I said here. And hail, there's a 15% significant chance here for you, basically showing that you could see some hail instances, basically up to quarter size and more. Kind of what we are talking about. Hopefully that helped out, Di. And if you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm here for you guys. Matt says, looking up everyone's hometown on only UPS. What? Man, it's going to see Troy, or it's going to see your... Troy says, yeah, I've already read that here. I've already read your message, Troy, a while back. I don't know if you saw it. I see that you just copied and pasted it. But yeah, I saw it back there. Let's go see. Amanda says, sorry, just got here. It's really windy here in Clarksville. I'm pretty nervous. Well, Amanda, like I said, we got you guys covered. We're going to be here for all of you guys here. And if you have any questions about a specific area here, we got you covered. You should never feel alone during these events. I understand, like I said before, they can be pretty nerve-wracking. I understand that. But like I said, we're going to get through this together. It's a pretty crazy event, not going to lie. But seriously, things are looking, regardless, pretty nasty here. So we're going to go ahead and update this here. Apparently, we have a new outlook that just came out, apparently. Changing to day 1. So here's our convective outlook. Wow, they just made that 15% chance much larger. Okay, so Di, I don't know if you're still here or not, but they actually just now increased your threat. So now you're actually in the worst end of it. You're actually in a moderate threat now. Because like I said, you're kind of right in there. Now you're inside the moderate threat. You're right. They actually did just update that. It's not high risk, but it is a moderate threat. They have a large 15% chance here of tornadoes. Significant tornadoes. This is a very large ground. That's very concerning here. That is very, very, very concerning here. Di says, thank you so much. You're very, very welcome. Like I said, guys, I care about your all safety here, which is why I'm here for you guys. Reason I'm up at 2 in the morning here. Like I said, I'm planning for a trip here. I'm going to be leaving here tomorrow, actually. If you're not considering, if you're considering today being basically like tomorrow, since today is still fresh here, I have all today. My mom is driving from Kentucky to Virginia, where I'm at here, and I'm taking a trip from Virginia to Kentucky. So it's gonna be pretty fun. We're leaving on Thursday. I've got to be. I still haven't even packed either. But like I said, I want you guys to know what's heading your way. I want you all to be protected. Like I said, it just kills me seeing the people who seeing the people who are not not taking these events seriously. It's very unfortunate. Because like I said, also the people who ignore these warnings as well, they don't issue these for no reason. They basically just want you to seek shelter. I mean, do what they say. Respect the polygon. James Spann always says, respect the polygon, man. Like seriously, it just takes one to end your life. And honestly, I hate to say it, but it's reality for you. And unfortunately, like I said, just ignoring these. Just ignoring these does not make anything better. Seriously. So please, 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 if you are inside any of these polygons, if you are inside any of these warnings that we are actually seeing here that are currently in effect, seriously, we have we've got to watch out for this because, like I said, but right now there is no active tornado warnings. They have all died down here for now. But like I said, don't expect that to last for long. Scott says, we have a friend who lives in Bloomington, Illinois. What does that area look like for later today? So let's go and pull up Bloomington, Illinois here. In regard to things, let's go and pull this up here really quick. I'm going to go ahead and pull up. Like I said, I'm not the best at specific locations here, so I'm going to do my best to kind of get here. Let's see here. So you want me to pull up Bloomington, Illinois here. Bloomington, Illinois. Okay, here we go. So this is just northeast of Springfield. So if you're wanting to look out for later on today, so for Bloomington, you're right there inside of that. Yeah, you're right there inside of that enhanced threat. That's severe threat level 3 out of 5. So we're going to go and switch here back to the screen. So this is right where Bloomington is. Kind of right around in here. That's kind of where it is looking at. Kind of where it looks like here. So this is severe threat level 3 out of 5. This is where we do have a pretty decent potential. Tornadoes, you're right there on the outskirts of that 10% significant chance. So you're between that 5% and 10% chance. We're seeing damaging winds here. Basically a 30% chance. That honestly, that maybe we could see some damaging winds here, 60 miles per hour or more here. 30% chance though. It's a pretty big deal. In regard to hail, that is a 15% chance here. Kind of we are looking at. So that is what we are seeing here. Let's go ahead and see here. Jesse says, thanks for this. Nobody told me anything until now. Well, obviously I'm glad to be here for you, Jesse. Like I said, I'm glad to share the information as best as I can. I want to share it as much as I can and get the word out there. I want you guys to be prepared and be safe for this. DJ says, this is scary, similar to the December 10th outbreak. This is looking pretty significant, and honestly, if this does play out as forecasted, this could be on top. Okay, that's the scary thing. This could be on top. So we have got to watch this here very close. So like I said, you guys, if you are just now joining us, obviously welcome. Hope you guys are having a wonderful night so far. I understand it's pretty stressful that's going on right now. And like I said, we are currently dealing with a lot of craziness that is actually popping off here. We do have some severe thunderstorm warnings that is in effect here at the moment. This is currently what we are. This is what we are dealing with here. Scott says thank you. We'll be sure to give him a heads up. Well, thank you so much, Scott. Glad to help you out for one, and glad to see that you're helping your friend out there. So you're very, very welcome. Like I said, if you want me to look up any other area here, this goes to everyone out there, y'all. If you guys want me to look at a specific area here, feel free to throw a comment down below. Let's go and see here. Matt says I may actually see storms in the morning. Well, obviously, hope you do, Matt, because I know you want to see them. So hope you get them, but just hope you stay safe while watching them. Okay. They're absolutely beautiful. Storms are absolutely beautiful forces of nature here, but they come with their downsides as well, and being very dangerous on many levels of danger when it comes to these. Sandra says, "Ugh, I hope it doesn't get bad in Louisville." I guess Louisville, Kentucky here. I'm actually going near Louisville. That's where I'm going to here tomorrow on Thursday. I'm actually going to Louisville here or outskirts of Louisville, just north of Louisville, where I'm going to be hanging out with my mom. So going there for a few months. Let's go ahead and see here. So in Louisville, I can't deal with thunderstorms, I can deal with thunderstorms, just no tornadoes. Yeah, I understand you. I understand you there for sure. And honestly, I kind of feel the same way. If I'm sitting there, tornadoes are definitely something you do not. It's definitely something you don't want to deal with. Obviously they are pretty nasty stuff to deal with here. Like I said, thunderstorms though, they're beautiful. They're absolutely gorgeous. They're really cool to see from a distance. But like I said, they do come with their downsides. That is definitely for sure here. So like I said, guys, we're gonna be here for y'all. If you have any questions at all, throw them down in the chat here, guys. We got you all covered. If you're new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button, guys. It'll help us out, help keep you guys safe here, and like I said, we're gonna continue giving you guys coverage here as we do track down here a little bit further in the event. But yeah, so like I said, we have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings that is in effect here. One for Mound here, another one here for this is Vicksburg, Waltersville. We have another here for Redwood. This includes Valley Park, Onward, Cary, Rolling Fork here, as well as Nidayuma here going on at the moment. Let's go and see. Jeffrey says, what is my thoughts for Scott Air Force Base, Illinois tomorrow? Well, obviously, welcome, Jeffrey. Hope you're doing good. Glad to see you here. I got to look that up and see exactly what area we're talking about, and I'll be able to tell you there. So let's go ahead and see here. Illinois. So this is basically, it's just east of St. Louis. I got you covered. So, just east of St. Louis here, you are inside of the enhanced threat. Let's go ahead and show this here. So, like I said, there's 5 different shades here. You have a light green, a dark green, a yellow, an orange, and a red. The light green basically shows that some thunderstorms are possible, which you're not in. This is the lowest end, but this basically just shows that some thunderstorms are possible, but they're not expected to be severe. Now, where the storms become severe is once they reach here in the green. The yellow is severe threat level 2 out of 5. This is a scale that goes from 1 to 5 here. 1 out of 5 is across the dark green, 2 out of 5 is across the yellow, 3 out of 5 is across the orange. And you just so happen to be right there in that 3 out of 5 severe threat. So imagine a scale of 1 to 5 on how severe storms could get. You're right there in the 3. You're right there at that middle ground, and things could get pretty daggone nasty for you. So Jeffrey, please stay safe here. Now, in regard to tornadoes here, you actually have a 10% significant chance. You can kind of see here that there's that netted ground here. You can obviously see it's 10% here in the yellow, because you're kind of right around in here. Now, like I said, the reason that you're inside of this yellow here is basically what it's basically showing you is the fact that we could see tornadoes, a 10% chance within 25 miles around you. There's a 10% chance that there could be a tornado within your vicinity, and it could be EF2 to EF5. Like I said, pretty large tornadoes is expected to happen across the region there. So that's what we are seeing here. Damaging wind potential here is actually even higher. We're seeing you're kind of right there in that 30% significant. So basically showing you have a 30% chance here within around you that you could see some damaging wind gusts in excess of 70 miles per hour, likely up to 80 and higher mile per hour wind gusts being possible. So stay on the lookout for that here. In regard to hail, you have a 15% chance of seeing hail. Basically, you have a 15% chance you could see hail 1 inch in diameter or greater. Like I said, it's the size of a quarter, nothing too crazy, but that's where the severe side starts. So just look out for that being possible. Got you covered, Jeffrey. If I hope that helped out, if you have any further questions, feel free to throw it down in the comments. Let's go into here. Amanda says, is this right now or tomorrow? So this right here, this is, well, today, considering today is actually Wednesday here. This is Wednesday's outlook. This is for today. So this is for Wednesday, which is today's Wednesday on the eastern side. So this is for later on. So this is our current, this is our outlook here for later on today. Like I said, these storms are going to continue to progress its way to the east here as we do track down here in time as the cold front pushes through. And once it does, it's going to kick off some thunderstorms. Some pretty gnarly thunderstorms. We've already seen a lot of tornado stuff happen here. Look at this. Here's the reports from the day. or from yesterday, I should say. 8 tornado reports, which doesn't really seem like much, but we did see some pretty nasty tornadoes here. 58 damaging wind reports. Pretty crazy, huh? But look at this. Hail reports, 173. We had 173 hail reports today. That is pretty, that's pretty daggone crazy. That's a lot of hail reports we've seen today. Absolutely crazy here. Let's go and see here. Matt says SPC still has slight risk for tomorrow. Well, obviously that is better than, or in your case, it's better than being in nothing. Well, obviously stay safe, Matt, here. And like I said, I hope you get something good. It would be nice if I got something, but, it is what it is. Mother Nature is going to do what it does, and not that we can do about it. But obviously stay safe, man. If you're going to be out there in those storms, you should definitely, be safe while doing it. Be safe while watching them. Because, like I said, as absolutely beautiful as they can be, and as absolutely much as I love chasing them and filming them myself, it's like, or just being around them myself, it's some risky business. Like I said, there's multiple dangers when it comes to these storms here. Lightning, we're talking lightning here, poor visibilities. We're talking tornadoes, large hail, damaging winds, flooding. We're talking a lot of different hazards. I mean, flying debris from stuff like that. So that's pretty crazy. That is honestly that is pretty daggone crazy. So like I said, there's multiple different risks when it comes to these type of events here. Sabrina says, how's the outlook for me? Sabrina says, how is Memphis? So Memphis, Tennessee, like I said, Memphis, you are going to be in for a nasty surprise. Now, unfortunately, I hate to bear the news to you, Sabrina. Well, you're actually right here. You're right in the middle of the worst threat. I mean, literally dead smack in the middle of the worst threat here for later on today. Now, what this means for you is that you have a 15% chance that you could see, you have a 15% chance you could see a tornado EF2 and higher. In regard to tornado-wise, I see that. So yeah, so in regard to tornadoes, you have a 15% chance that you could see tornadoes EF2 to EF5 being possible. 15% chance might not seem like much, but like I said, it's a pretty big probability here. And the chance of it actually hitting you within 25 miles is also low, but you gotta think. I mean, somewhere is probably gonna get clobbered. And let's just hope it's not near you, okay? Like I said, but you are inside that risk area, so you gotta be watching out close as this does move its way through. So that's what we're talking about. So stay safe. Stay safe, Sabrina. If you have any questions here, feel free to throw them down in the chat. Like I said, you're right there in the bullseye. You're right there in the war spot. Memphis is going to get clobbered tomorrow, or later on today, I should say. So stay safe. Let's go ahead and see here. Matt says the last tornado I've seen was in Louisiana. Wow, pretty crazy. Last one I've seen was in Kentucky. So yeah, like I said, Sabrina, please be safe here. Let's go ahead and see here. Sabrina says 4 babies here. Gotta be very watchful. I had to get them out of bed last night. Well, that's not good. Well, Sabrina, like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out for us. We're going to be here for you guys. And like I said, if you have any questions at all, you guys, we got you covered, okay? I understand, like I said before, these events can be very, very stressful, and I understand that they can be pretty scary from time to time. But like I said, we got you covered, guys. We're here for you all, and we're going to get through this together, okay? We're gonna get through this together. Like I said, it is spring, and around this time of the year is whenever stuff like this does happen. And unfortunately, this is probably going to continue to happen here as we progress through April into May and even June. I mean, really until winter comes. I mean, is whenever these events can theoretically happen. I mean, they can really happen at any time of the year, but they're more common around this time, being April into May. April and May are the most active months. March, April, and May are the most active months when it comes to severe weather. And like I said, we're just now starting to get into some pretty nasty stuff here. Let's go and see here. The Mechanical says, looks like a big day coming up. It's a very big day coming up here for later on today. So we have a moderate threat, severe threat level 4 out of 5. Pretty crazy here. Like I said, 1 out of 5 severe threat across the dark green, 2 out of 5 across the yellow, 3 out of 5 across the orange, and 4 out of 5. That is nearly almost maxing out. That's pretty crazy. So yeah, today's a pretty big day. Like I said, there's a 15% significant chance here. Sabrina says, subscribing now. Thank you so much, Sabrina. Really appreciated. All of you guys rock. Just always know that. Thank you all so much for being here. Like I said, we got you guys covered. we're going to be here for you guys. If you have any further questions, and like I said, I was wanting to go live here really, really early. Like I said, I haven't even packed for my live stream. It just shows you my mental state right now. I haven't even packed for my trip that I'm going on here. So I just wanted to give you guys updated information in regard to things. And like I said, luckily, there is no active tornado warnings that's in effect here right now. Like I said, we did see a lot of them earlier, but, essentially, seriously, pretty crazy here. Sabrina says, Sabrina just subscribed. Thank you so much, Sabrina. Greatly appreciate it. Jesse says, I'm having a hard time throwing a few dollars your way. I even reset my password. Grateful in Memphis here. Well, thank you so much, Jesse. Now, I will say, I think you have to log in. I think he's on the upper right-hand corner, but I don't know if that's what you're having problems with. I've had a few other people in the past say the same thing, but obviously you don't have to do that, but it's greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Like I said, just you guys being here is more than enough, you guys. So thank you all so much. You guys are the best. So like I said, regardless, we're going to be here for y'all. We got you guys covered. In regard to things, Jesse says, get some rest. I will here eventually. Like I said, I do need to get prepared for my trip as well eventually here, so I do plan on going live later on today whenever the bulk of this does kick off here. It's supposed to kind of get pretty silent tonight a little bit, maybe some here and there tornado and severe thunderstorm warnings, but not as crazy as it's going to get here until later on. Pretty crazy here. Let's go ahead and see here. Jesse says, is there PayPal? So you can actually use PayPal to donate on the live stream here. It's on the same link here. If you actually go to our link here, it's in the description, or if it's in the chat here, I'm pretty sure you're already on it. It'll give you an option to actually use a card or actually to use PayPal. So either or. Like I said, you don't have to do that. Obviously, I mean, like I said, just you guys being here is way more than enough, and I cannot thank you guys more than enough here. So Sabrina says, gotcha. So yep, I'm gonna be live here later on today. Not sure exactly what time. I can probably try to look here. I tell you what, we're gonna go here to Tropical Tidbits. Like I said, the time's it's right above the radar view here. Kind of what we are looking at the moment. So I'll tell you what. So whenever the big old storms are gonna start kicking off here, whenever the bulk of the storms are gonna kick off here, it kind of looks like. Yeah, it kind of looks like the main line is gonna start firing off here, kind of around the afternoon hours here. We're talking around 4 o'clock maybe. Pretty crazy. Danger says I should go live while in the car tomorrow. Well, the storms will mostly be out of the area where I'm going to by then, unfortunately. But yeah, I will. I'm thinking about eventually doing some storm chases with you guys. That's definitely a future plan here. Matt says in WW Mobile Edition. That sounds pretty promising there. So expect that in the future. Like I said, it's probably gonna be a little bit a ways from now, probably a few years before we get to that level. But eventually, I do plan on getting there. And like I said, guys, something that's pretty interesting with this system is not only is it throwing some nasty, severe weather here, but I mean, look at this. This is actually showing some very nasty snow as well across bits of the northern portion here. Let's go and see here. Rain says, my first marginal risk of the year will obviously stay safe here. Even a marginal risk has its threat. And, like I said, just because you might think it's the lowest threat of the lowest end of the severe spectrum here, seriously, it's still a severe threat. Okay? It's seriously still a pretty nasty, severe threat in which, obviously you still got to take it, very seriously. Okay? You still have got to take it very, very seriously. Even though it's the lowest in the spectrum, that is showing you that you have a threat for severe weather here. So that is kind of what we are talking about. But anyways, guys, like I said, thank you so much for being here. You guys absolutely rock. Like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to throw them down in the chat here. I got you guys covered. If you guys want me to cover a specific area here, feel free to throw it down there as well. I'm going to get to your guys' questions as best as I can here. Like I said, thank you guys so much. Sabrina says, if I heard to the community say, or if I head, I think I don't know why I said her, but if I head to community safe shelter around 3 p.m., I should avoid the scary part. Correct. So Sabrina, you were across. Let's see, you were towards Memphis. That's right. So you said around 3. So like I said, in regard to timing here towards Memphis. What this is actually showing here It looks like there could be some storms firing off ahead of the main line, between 8 p.m. and honestly 10. But it kind of looks like that main line, the worst of the storms, will be driving its way through between. Yeah, it kind of looks like between 8 and 11. Kind of looks like that. So you're talking about 3 p.m. So 3 p.m. There's going to be nothing there at 3 p.m. Okay, so at 3 p.m. it's going to be pretty good. You're going to be safe here, but it's going to hit you in the evening hours when it's nighttime. That's obviously not a good thing either. Pretty crazy. Sabrina says, major storm anxiety, tornado survivor. Well, I'm obviously very, very thankful that you are here to tell the story, and obviously God bless you, Sabrina. Obviously, pretty scary. Tornadoes are very, very scary, and I understand that. I've been inside. I've been in 3 tornadoes. I've seen one. It was in Cave, Kentucky. It was near Mammoth Cave in Kentucky. It was back in the late 2000s. I was pretty little there. Heck of a story. I've said it multiple times on the live stream. I really don't feel like talking about it, but it's pretty crazy. Sabrina says, okay, I appreciate you. You're very, very welcome, Sabrina. Obviously, like I said, I'm here for you. I'm going to be here for you guys. And like I said, if you have any further questions, got you guys covered here. It's the reason why we're live here at 2:30 in the morning exactly. Like I said, I noticed that a lot of the other streamers have went offline, and I was like, I think I should probably do my duty here and get online and, give updates here, because I know there's a lot of curious people out there. I know you guys are wondering what is going on here in the weather world, like what's going on and what's crazy and stuff, which is why I'm here. I basically am taking a night shift here for a little bit, so that's the plan in regard to things. I don't know how long I'm going to be live here, because like I said, I do need to get some sleep here. I do need to prepare, because I need to get live tomorrow as well. In regard to things, so we're gonna be there. Like I said, you guys, just thank you so much for being here. If you guys are out there, I care about you all. We're gonna be here for you guys. If you're new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. Obviously, you don't have to. Be greatly appreciated though. It'll help us out, help you guys out as well. Help you guys stay up to date on the latest information. We do this every day. We literally go live every single night at 8 o'clock, regardless of severe weather or not. Talk about what could happen in the future, what could happen down the line. And obviously, during these events, we go live as well, because I want you guys to be prepared. We try to alert you as far as we can out the most accurately as possible. In which, we can tell you what's heading your way. Whenever people need to hear it, and in regard to that, but just know that you're not alone. Okay, that's all I want you guys to know. Is just know that you're not alone, and we got you covered. Let's go see. Sabrina says, God bless you too. Good night, brother. I'll be here to watch tomorrow. Well, obviously, thank you so much for being here, Sabrina. Greatly appreciated. And I will catch you later on today. Let's go see here. Matt says, could I show the NAM model in my area again, please? Yes, I got you covered, Matt. So this is the NAM model here. So it's kind of looking like, let's go and zoom into eastern Oklahoma, because I know that's where you're at here. So eastern Oklahoma. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, you might get it pretty early. It kind of looks like here. It looks like it's mostly gonna be some heavy rain. Then start to kick into some of those storms here. But it looks like it's supposed to kind of kick off here between 10 and 12 and 10 and 2. Kind of what you're looking at here. Noel says, can someone answer in chat about Western Kentucky? I live in Bowling Green, but have family in Oak Grove in Hopkins, Kentucky area. Well, obviously, welcome. Noel, I got you covered, man. Like I said, I'm here answering your guys' questions, so got you covered. So you want to know about Bowling Green. I've actually been to Bowling Green here not too long ago, and I'm actually going back to Kentucky. Funny thing is, I'm actually going back to Kentucky tomorrow, being Thursday. So, heading on to a road trip, hang out with my mom for a few months in Kentucky. So in regard to Bowling Green, like I said, here's your overall threat. We should probably change this. Probably zoom out a little bit. It's a little bit zoomed in here. Probably zoom out to about that. Okay. So Bowling Green is across southwestern Kentucky. My YouTube decided it wants to reinstall, and it decides it wants to do updates while I'm doing live streams. No, I can't read your comment. But anyways, I know you're talking about Bowling Green, and I know where Bowling Green is. It's kind of roughly around in here. You're actually kind of right there on that moderate and that enhanced threat. Now, you probably don't know what that means, but okay, so there's 5 shades here. We have a light green, a dark green, a yellow, an orange, and a red. There's 5 shades here. The light green basically shows that some storms could be possible across some of these areas here, but they're not expected to be severe, kind of right here, the light green. The dark green means something significant. Like I said, basically the dark green basically shows that, honestly, there could be some storms that are severe. So we have a scale from 1 to 5, 1 being the absolute lowest probability, lowest potential, 5 being the absolute worst probability and worst potential in regard to the storms. 5 is something you never want to see, and unfortunately, we have a 4, just under the maximum threat here for tomorrow. Now, for you, you're right there in between. You're kind of closer to that. You're inside the enhanced. You're inside the 3 out of 5 zone, but you're right there next to that moderate chance. Now, what this means for you is that you could, regardless, see tornadoes EF2 to EF5. You have a 10% chance within 25 miles of you there could be a tornado EF2 to EF5. Now, I know that sounds pretty scary. It's just something you got to work out. You got to watch out for. It's nothing to panic over, but like I said, it's something you got to watch out for. Damaging winds is a very big potential for you. You have about a 30% chance here you could see damaging winds 60 to 70 mile per hour or more. Actually, 70 mile per hour or more. In regard to hail, you have a 15% chance that you could see hail 1 inch in diameter and greater, the size of a quarter and higher could be possible. Kind of what we're talking about. Now, let me go ahead and pull back up my live stream here because it decides it wanted to kick off here, so sorry about that, but that is what we are dealing with here. Jesse says, good night, until this evening, tornadoes. This is Jesse. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Jesse. Glad to be here, or glad to have you here. But yeah, that's to answer your, that's seriously the answer for that. Let's go ahead and see here. Don't fear what you can't control. Yep, that's for sure. Been in several tornadoes. It can be traumatizing and take proper steps to protect yourself and never panic is your enemy in any emergency. I could agree 1,000,000% more. Seriously, that is couldn't agree any more than that. Seriously, that's very, very true. And like I said, that's why we're here now, warning you guys. Just take this as your early warning to prepare now. Okay. Like I said, what we recommend here is to have a helmet, have a pair of shoes if you're inside of a tornado warning. Bring your helmet to help protect your head. Bring your shoes to help protect your feet from glass, nails, any type of sharp objects can be all over the ground here. Mattress would be preferred as well to the central and lowest portion of your home. Obviously, the further you can go underground, the better. But if you're nowhere near if you can't get underground, then go to the central and interior portion of your home or whatever building you're in. That is the safest place you're going to be here. Let's go and see here. What's supposed to go on in Kansas City, says Nathan. I know exactly where Kansas City is here. But I tell you what, I gotta pull it up here just to double make sure here. I know where Kansas City is. Yeah, Kansas City here. It's across, yeah, that's what we're talking about here. So, Kansas City. In regard to your risk here, you, my friend, you're actually in a slight risk. You're right, you're kind of right in here. So, this is basically showing here, essentially, this is basically showing here, severe threat level, 2 out of 5 here. Possible tornadoes, large hail and damaging wind be a concern. You have a 5% chance here of seeing a tornado here within 25 miles of you. You have a 15 to 30% chance here of seeing that in regard to things. You have a 15% chance here of seeing a wind damage here. Like I said, 60 miles per hour or more. In regard to hail, you have a 15% chance here. Let's go see here. Southwest corner of Missouri. Risk levels, timing, please. I got you covered. So across southwestern corner of Missouri. So it depends on where exactly in the southwestern corner here, but this is for today's outlook here. So obviously, we track down here in time the risk outlook here. We're going to change back to day 1 here. So you, across southwestern side, majority of southwest has a slight risk, severe threat level 2 out of 5. Like I said, from a scale of 1 to 5, 2 is seriously right there, 2's not the lowest threat, but it is 1 higher than that. But it obviously, regardless of what threat you're in, there is still a chance for tornadoes and damaging winds and hail. Regardless, here is still a severe threat. You still got to watch out for it. So 2 out of 5 severe threat. You have the chance of seeing you have a 5% chance of seeing a tornado within 25 miles of you. Damaging wind here is basically a 15% chance. You could see damaging winds 60 miles per hour or more. Like I said, these are not sustained winds. These are wind gusts, what they could get up to in regard to things here. But that is what we are looking at here. And like I said, this is here in regard to hail here. This is basically, we actually have a 15% chance we could see hail 1 inch in diameter and greater as well. Like I said, basically just the size of a quarter could be possible across the region. That is what we are talking about. So that is what we are dealing with. So that's that. Let's go ahead and see here. So that's to answer your question. Hopefully that helped out. Now you also want to know about timing too. I got you covered. Got you covered here. So you want to know about Missouri, southwestern side. So it kind of looks like, the models here are kind of showing that. Kind of looks like, the more of the spotty storms are going to kind of kick off here around noon here. We're kind of talking around, we're kind of talking about maybe around 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. Remember, this is 1 hour ahead of Central Time. This is in the Central Time Zone. So for you, it'll be 12 o'clock here. So essentially, we're kind of just starting to see, some of the storms across southwestern Missouri kind of firing off around noon. So watch out for that. That is what we are talking about in terms of timing. Hopefully that helped out. If you have any further questions, throw them down in the chat here. We got you covered. Let's go ahead and see here. Obviously, I have a few questions I'm trying to get to for you guys. Nathan says, "Oh no, I'm sorry, Kansas City, Missouri." Okay, so yeah, that's what we were basically looking at here. Like I said, you're kind of roughly around in this area here. Regardless, you still have a severe threat, and you're right there between that slight and enhanced risk. Basically, just meaning that you need to be on high alert for the weather here. Essentially over the next few days, or over the next day. I don't know why I said next few days, but anyways, this is for later on today. You got to be on the lookout here for later on today, because things could get pretty bad. Like I said, all types of severe weather is expected for you, so just be on the lookout. Okay, we plan on being live here. I can't tell you exactly how long, because like I said, I'm planning for a road trip. I'm about to head off here to Kentucky on Thursday, tomorrow, basically. So I'm still not even packed anyways, but I just want to go live and give you guys up-to-date information in regard to things, and so that's what we're doing with there. Let's go ahead and see here. The mechanical says you have a good voice, and your delivery is very good. Thank you so much. Future is bright, bro. Stick with it because you're natural. Thank you so much. Seriously, that really means a lot. Greatly appreciated. Seriously, thank you so much here. Let's go see. Nathan says there's some pretty bad storms here. Well, obviously, stay safe, man. If you have any questions about it, feel free to throw it down here. Let's go see. Noah says, thank you so much. You're very, very welcome. I was affected by the December 11th tornado and lost a friend and his family due to the tornado that hit us in December. Well, I'm very, very sad to see. I'm very, very sorry to say that or see that, Noel. Prayers goes out to their families and everyone who's got affected by this, because, tornadoes are something that we can't stop, but we can help prepare for. And, like I said, that's why I'm here. I'm here to share the word. I'm here to I'm here to reach out as far as I can go, and I'm here to I want to expand as much as I can. I want to get the word out there to help prevent things like that from happening. And like I said, I'm very, very sorry for your loss there. It's very unfortunate. Like I said, it's very, very sad to see. And like I said, I'm here right now to help prevent that from happening anymore to anyone else. Now, obviously, there is going to be people who ignore these, and unfortunately, the people who ignore these warnings are the ones that statistically end up, potentially be more fatal. It's very, very unfortunate. So, like I said, prayers goes out to the families of being affected. Very, very unfortunate. And like I said, prayers, everything that's happening later on today. Like I said, things are going to get pretty nasty. Me being a forecaster for several years, this is going to be a pretty nasty event, y'all. This is something we should. This is something that we should definitely, definitely take to heart here, because this is going to be pretty serious. Let's go see here. Chaos says, not just a good voice, good heart, giving up sleep to help warn others, and the weather channels call it at night. This young man is a great person who genuinely cares. Well, obviously, like I said, thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. Both you, the mechanical, as well as Chaos. Thank you so much. Those comments seriously mean a lot to me. Like I said, yeah, I want to be here for y'all. I want you guys to be safe. I understand that, there's a lot of people. I've actually been in those shoes before, okay? Like I said, I used to be, here's a little bit of a fun story really quickly. I used to be absolutely scared of storms. I used to be terrified of them. I used to think, like, any storm I get, I'd be begging my mom, asking, are we going to have a tornado? Are we going to have a tornado? Every single time. And I've always got so scared of them. And until one day, I was so scared that it got me interested in them, if that makes any sense. Then I started studying meteorology. I started, starting to do a lot of research and started to talk to meteorologists. And next thing you know, I'm here forecasting. And next thing you know, I'm here telling, what I expect here. And like I said, I tell you what, though, once you learn these aspects here, it brings down that stress a lot because you kind of know what we're talking about. And I want to deliver my knowledge that I've gathered over many years and help you guys what prepare for. Okay, I want to make it as clear. I want to answer as many questions as I can. Like I said, I'm here to answer as many as I can. Like I said, I got you guys covered here. Noah says, please be safe during your travel. I appreciate you doing this for us. You're very, very welcome. Like I said, guys, I really do care about you. Just when you think you're alone during these events, you're not. You're seriously not. And like I said, we got you guys covered 100% of the way. Like I said, I cover the whole entire United States. And like I said, even days that we're not seeing, nasty weather like this, we do live streams here every night at 8. Basically to see what we could expect here in the future in regard to weather. So we can help you prepare even further out, before they're right here on their doorstep. We can actually give a little bit of a glimpse to be like, hey, this might happen. I've actually been forecasting this event here for about 5 days or so. I've been forecasting this for a while. You go back on my channel, you'll be able to see me talking about it for many days until it's lit us up here. It's pretty crazy. And like I said, if you guys want to be up to date with all that accurate weather forecasting, as accurate as it can be, I'm going to be here for you guys. Like I said, we actually take a lot of things in consideration here, and we obviously look things over pretty well. Just saying that because I want you all to be safe here, so we got you guys covered here. So yeah, that is what we are done with here. Let's go and see here. Nathan says, I know Nathan was saying here, pretty bad storms here. Slight risk for the light green. So that's not right. So for the light green here, like I said, the light green basically shows that some thunderstorms could be possible. This is the light green right here we're talking about. The dark green is this is the first threat of severe weather. The slight risk is the yellow, 2 out of 5 severe threat. So essentially, it does this. So they actually have names on them. They're not just severe risk level 1 out of 5 or whatever. 1 out of 5 severe level is called a marginal risk. Level 2 out of 5 is called a slight risk. 3 out of 5 is called an enhanced risk. 4 out of 5 is called a moderate risk. And 5 out of 5 is a high risk. Okay. So slight risk is a 2 out of 5 severe threat. This is across the yellow. The light green is what we call a TSTM, just generalized thunderstorm. Kind of what we're talking about. So that's to cover it. That's just to kind of clear things up, just to make sure there's no confusion there. Let's go to here. Laura says, do I think there will be any tornadoes for West Virginia later on today and tonight? Well, obviously, welcome. Hope you're doing good here. Now, for the outlook here for later on today, you're in the clear for tornadoes, it looks like. In regard to, damaging winds here as well. Really, there's really not much severe weather is expected across to West Virginia. I mean, maybe a small little sliver you can barely see here on the extreme western edge here. Kind of what we are talking about, but that is what we are seeing here. Now, for tomorrow, this will track its way here to the east. So eventually, I could say that there could be some storms here across bits of West Virginia. So look out for that. Regardless, we got to be on the lookout. So stay tuned for that. In regard to tornadoes, it does not look like it for West Virginia here. Because a lot that has to happen is terrain. A lot of those upper elevations actually kind of, hurts the lower level components, like the lower level jet stream. Probably out of your guys' vocabulary. Basically, those winds that move from the south to the north, they kind of break up whenever they hit that terrain, and it obviously kind of hurts tornadoes from forming across some of those regions. Not saying they can't happen, but just saying that it can hurt, and that's what it looks like it's going to do with this event. So that is what we are dealing with here. Let's go see Laura. Thank you so much for subscribing. Greatly appreciated. But yeah, that's what we are dealing with here. Let's go see. When looking at the weather warnings, don't pay attention to the color. Pay attention to the area that's inside the color. I could not have said that better, man. That's seriously, yes. That is a big thing here. The lowest risk doesn't mean that nothing will happen in your area. It's a risk for a reason. It's a risk. If you think of a risk, it means something that could potentially happen. So look out for that. Seriously. Let's go and see here. Always be weather aware if you are in any shaded risk. Yes. Obviously, you should be watching the weather here. Like I said, the light green basically shows that some thunderstorms could happen. Some actually could be strong, but the severe storms are going to begin. The generalized area of severe storms is expected to begin across the green. Now, have I seen severe storms happen in the light green? Many times. It's happened before, many times here. But this is basically just where the forecasted area of the generalized beginning of the severe storms is expected to begin. Kind of what we're talking about. I hope that kind of makes sense here. I'm trying to kind of make that as simple as I possibly can. But yeah, hopefully that made some sense for you guys. in regard to things. But like I said, guys, thank you all so much for being here. You guys are the best here. And if you have any questions, you guys, feel free to throw them down in the chat here. If you're new to the channel, consider hitting the subscribe button, guys. It'd be greatly appreciated. Leave a like if you guys are, enjoying the coverage here. And if you guys do want to support the channel, we do have our donation links in the description as well as pinned in chat. Obviously, you don't have to, but guys, if you do want to support the channel, it'd be greatly appreciated. Help us, with everything else, with the models, or with the models, the programs we use, and all types of stuff like that. It'll help us out, guys. But like I said, obviously, just you guys being here is enough. So thank you all so much for doing that. Thank you guys for being here. And like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to throw them down here. So see, Calvin says, I love storms ever since I was a child. Guys, honestly, they're beautiful. I love storms. I love, doing photography of storms. Crazy. I love doing photography. I love seeing storms. I love learning about them. I love forecasting them. Everything about storms is I am into it. In which, that is what we are dealing with here. Noah says, I was the same way. I love watching it on YouTube. I was excited. Now I'm horrified. I hear thunder and jump. Yeah, honestly, severe weather can actually give you, like, PTSD, honestly. That's actually a real thing. In which, honestly, there's a part of me, man, it's crazy. Because whenever I go outside and actually try to film these events, because I highly don't recommend doing this. Don't do what I do, because what I do is pretty stupid. But don't ever go outside like I do. Don't ever have a metal tripod and have it in the air and be recording a storm outside. I do that a lot, and it always, there's just this bad feeling I have in my gut that's just saying, I'm pretty vulnerable here. So regardless, I want you to be inside during the storms here. Don't pull a stupid thing like me and go outside and try to film them. It's not really the smartest thing you can do, but I love doing it. And honestly, like I said, with lightning and stuff like that, it's very nerve-wracking. And seriously, it's not a good feeling. There's even been times I've been filming a storm and I left my camera outside for briefly, and I stood there at the front door because I did not want to go out in that lightning. But can you blame me? Probably not, because obviously it's pretty crazy. I knew it was going to be bad later on today, just watching how the forecast in Iowa and Texas getting those outbreaks yesterday. Arkansas had a tornado emergency. And even just a week or so ago, we had that event across the southeast that did impact the Carolinas. South Carolina got slammed. Georgia did too, and there was even a tornado emergency in South Carolina. I don't know if you saw about that. Pretty crazy. Like I said, March was very active. April's been very, very active as well. It's been a crazy season so far. And like I said, I do expect this pattern to begin. I do expect this pattern to continue on as we do track down here into the further portions of this month. We're just now starting to reach mid-April here. And it's like, it's showing no sign of letting up here. Things are getting pretty nasty here. Pretty crazy. Let's because the biggest threat, bad weather, is always lightning. It kills more than any storm hazard pretty much every year. Lightning is pretty scary. And, honestly, that's the thing. It's very, very scary because you can't detect when it hits something. It's instantaneous because it's moving at the speed of light, basically. And the thunder you hear is basically the light passing so fast through the air, it creates a shockwave. Basically, it's just breaking the sound barrier. That noise you hear is thunder. It's caused by lightning. I don't know if you guys knew that, and I know some of you guys are probably wondering how all this works. But lightning strikes the ground or whatever it does, wherever it strikes, and it moves so fast through the air, it cuts through like a fighter jet. It cuts straight through the air, and it displaces all the air around it so fast that it breaks the sound barrier, and then bam, you hear the thunder, which is that sound barrier being broken. That's basically how thunder works, and that's how you hear it. So that's how we say you can measure lightning, or you can measure thunder, or how close the storm is by basically showing the second you see lightning and how many seconds you hear thunder. That's showing you how close the lightning bolt is. That doesn't show you. Obviously, it doesn't show you exactly what proximity of the storm you're in, but it does kind of show you an idea of what we're dealing with there. But yeah, that is what we are seeing here. But anyways, guys, like I said, I wanted to be here for y'all. Thank you guys so much for being here. You guys absolutely rock. Thank you so much for being here. You guys are seriously the best. And if you have any questions, feel free to throw them down in the chat here. I think I'm gonna go ahead. I might have to call it a night here for tonight, guys. I had really hate doing it, but like I said, there's really not much going on right now. It kind of looks like things are kind of fading out here for now, but we are going to be live later on today. I need to get some rest for it. It's going to be a long day later on today. And like I said, I need to get packed. I need to get ready for my trip as well. So guys, I hope you did enjoy the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you hit that thumbs up button as well as subscribe to the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. Like I said, if you guys do want to support the channel, we do have our link in the description as well as pinned in chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. But like I said, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and call it a live stream here for tonight. We also do have a merchandise page as well. If you guys would like to check it out, I'm going to go ahead and post it here inside of the chat here. We got some pretty cool merch, and I think you guys are going to like what we have on there. We have a lot of radar merch. We have a lot of jackets and stuff like that. So if you guys do want to check it out here, we're going to go ahead and paste the link here right now. So there you go. But Amanda says, all right, I'll tune in later. Well, thank you for joining us, Amanda. Hope you're doing good, and hope you have a wonderful night. Stay safe, you guys. Chaos says, rest well, man. Have a great night. You as well. Thank you so much for joining. Let's go ahead and see here. Laura says good night. Good night, Laura. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for subscribing. All of you guys are the best here. Let's go ahead and see here. Noel says, I know that's later. It's supposed to be rain and storms earlier today, but break around 5 p.m. Is it true that if we see sunshine after the earlier storms, it will intensify the storms later? So usually if there's sunshine, before the main line of storms hits you, that basically shows that the surface is heating up to max potential, which if the cloud basically traps heat, it also prevents it from warming up or cooling down, really. It's a big old blanket that basically pauses the temperature. Now, if the sun beats down on the ground, it heats up the surface, which allows for more of that warm air to go up in that colder environment. The warmer it is, the more of an interaction it's going to have. So the more sunlight, the worse it could potentially be. So technically, yes. Sandra says good night. Good night, Sandra. Thank you so much for joining us. That goes to all of you guys out there. Thank you all so much for being here. You guys absolutely rock. I'll catch you guys later on. Make sure you join us. Like I said, we're not sure exactly what time. Probably a little bit afternoon. Kind of hoping between 2 and 3 Eastern time, so stay on the lookout for that. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for being here. You guys rock. Always know that. Di says good night, everyone. Good night, Di. Hope you're doing good. And have a wonderful night. Stay safe, you guys. Thank you all so much here. And I'll see you guys here. Let's go and see here. So Norvin says, where am I located? I'm here in Northern Virginia. Hugo says, is Central Arkansas at a risk? Yes. Central Arkansas, right here. The state of Arkansas, central portion, you're right there in the enhanced and moderate risk. Tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds is at risk here. Anyways, guys, heading off here for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. You guys rock. Always know that. If you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to us. We have our Discord and stuff like that. All our social media is in the description as well. If you guys are worried about anything, and feel free to DM me. I'm open for DMs if you guys want to talk to me about specific things here. Got you guys covered. You should never be, you should never panic over these. But if you're worried about something, let me know. I'll get you covered. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for being here. You guys rock. Always know that. Catch you guys later on. Have a wonderful night, guys. Stay safe. See you later.
While severe weather may not be imminent, persons should remain alert for rapidly changing weather conditions and listen for later statements and possible warnings. Stay tuned to NOAA Weather Radio, commercial radio and television outlets, or internet sources for the latest severe weather information. You're listening to NOAA Weather Radio.